Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and, well, it's the end of the year, so there's a lot of Oscar buzz and big movies that are award season worthy, and then Netflix throws out Bright. Which, when I heard about this, I'm like, why the hell is this being wasted on Netflix? This should be seen on a big screen. This seems like such a cool idea, a cool concept of bringing all these different races of orc and elves and fairies, and there's dragons! You can see them flying to the big screen, and it's like, why is this not there? And now I know, because this movie wasn't the greatest. It's okay. I was fine watching it for 2 hours, but it was honestly really disappointing because I expected a lot more. Because this is directed by David Ayer, who I need to see End of Watch. I really do. That's a film that I haven't gotten a chance to see. I loved Fury. I thought that was a really awesome film about a tank corps in World War II. And then Suicide Squad happened, and I'm like, thanks, Warner Brothers, for ruining David Ayer's movie. And now this, and I'm like, who do I blame now? But the thing is, it's like, they're trying to balance way too much stuff in this movie, which really isn't David Ayer's fault, because he didn't write this. And I'll talk about Max Landis plenty very shortly. But I don't think David Ayer, like, this movie was going, the pacing was fine. Like, I didn't feel bored because I felt like it was slogging along. This movie kept moving. And I think that was important to make this as enjoyable as possible. Tonally, it's kind of all over the place because it's like trying to do so many things and make commentary on so many things, and it's just like, what are you trying to focus on here? And the story gets lost in all the mythology and the shuffle of it all, and it's just like, what's going on here? And I didn't feel emotionally for like anything in this film except maybe a little bit for the orc character, and I'm not very good with character names in movies, but like that's why I just call them by their actors. Joel Edgerton, I really enjoyed him in this film, and I felt a little bit for his character, but that's about it. But like the directing wasn't super impressive to me, and then the cinematographer was Roman Vasayanov, and it looked interesting. It used a lot of dark, gritty look to it, and I guess it depends on. I thought it was cool. It gave it a distinct look to it. It didn't look like a Netflix movie, which that's the thing about Netflix movies. You usually could tell it's a Netflix movie. This actually looks like a produced cinematic film, and it has the same kind of look to Fury, has the same kind of look to Suicide Squad, and if you're okay with that, I thought it gave it a dark, grittier look to it. But the thing is, the action sequences in this, overly edited and weren't shot too great, and it's just like, whatever. I'm like, this should be cool, but it's really not, but whatever. But then we have Max Landis, who wrote this film, and I don't like Max Landis. I'm not a fan of his work. What he did with this story is so cluttered and all over the place and blah, blah, blah. Just like, what were you writing? Like, hone in on something. Give some focus here. And then the characters are so one note, and like, the villain's awful. And it's just like, I don't give a crap about you. I don't know why the hell you're doing any of the things you're doing. Which really took away from some of the dialogue. I loved the banter going back and forth between Will Smith and Joel Edgerton. I thought that was great. Their chemistry together was great, and that was some of the best parts of the movie. But so much of the writing and the themes in this were so heavy-handed and punch you in the face and beat you over the head the whole entire time. It's just like, calm down. It's okay. You can have some finesse to this. But they didn't, and that really turned me off during this film. To get to the acting, Joel Edgerton I thought was by far the best part of this film, and even under all that makeup, I think he did a really good job of bringing some actual strong performance to this. Will Smith did a fine job. He had his moments. I'm like, well, that's it. we're gonna do it. We're gonna die in a T-bar shootout. Like, he had those kinds of moments that he can sell, and Will Smith can do that. But the rest of the film, he seemed kind of like, why am I here? I don't really care. You didn't have that Will Smith charisma. It wasn't After Earth bad. It wasn't, but it was lacking. But I think he did fine. I liked him a lot more as Deadshot and Suicide Squad. So obviously he can work well in a David Ayer film with, but like it, he just kind of going through the motions. Noomi Rapace was wasted as hell in this film. And it's just like, why were you in this? Why'd you agree to this? And then Edgar Ramirez, I thought, like, he had some small points, but I think he was wasted as well. Overall, this is a really cool idea and concept. There is some chemistry and the buddy cop stuff between Will Smith and Joel Edgerton, but it really drops the ball, and that's the big thing, and that's why I'm going to give Bright a C minus.